He rescued two alien sisters from the frozen wastes. Now both swear their hearts and futures belong to him. The storm came in sheets of white, battering against the metal walls of the small survey outpost. The sensors screamed warnings of temperature drops and lethal wind chill. Still, Daniel Harker strapped on his insulated suit, checked the charge of his thermal rifle, and forced open the outer airlock. The planet, catalogued as Illyria 9, was a death world of endless ice, fractured plains, and storms so vicious they could flay skin from bone in seconds. Humans had only been here 3 years, building colonies and mining stations among the glaciers. Daniel had come as a mechanic and survivalist, drawn by both pay and challenge. He had faced much already on Illyria 9, snow beasts, collapsing glaciers, and equipment failures, but nothing had prepared him for what he would find that night. Through the whiteout storm, he spotted movement, a faint outline half buried in the drifts. At first, he thought it was another stranded colonist, but as he approached, he realized the figure was slender, alien, and trembling violently. Her skin shimmered faintly with an almost crystalline hue, violet eyes wide with fear. She was wrapped in torn silks wholly unsuited for Illyria's climate. "Hey, hold on," Daniel shouted, voice muffled inside his helmet. He reached her, knelt, and lifted her from the snow. She was freezing, literally. Her skin was turning pale blue at the edges. "Not me," she gasped weakly. "My sister." Daniel's gaze darted across the snow. Another form lay only meters away, nearly hidden beneath a collapse of drifting ice. He ran, dug desperately with gloved hands, and pulled free a second alien woman, similar in appearance but smaller, her lips already turning purple. With both women cradled against him, Daniel turned back toward the faint glow of his outpost through the storm. "Don't die on me," he muttered, forcing his legs to push through the snow, step by agonizing step. Warming shadows. Back inside, he activated the outpost's emergency heat lamps, stripped off his gloves, and began wrapping the sisters in thermal blankets. They trembled violently, their bodies unused to this brutal world. He pressed warm packs against their skin, monitoring vitals through his suit's medical readouts. Hours passed before color returned to their faces. The taller one stirred first. Her violet eyes focused on him, and her lips parted. "You saved us," she whispered. Her accent was strange, musical, but her words were clear. "I couldn't leave you out there," Daniel said simply. "Name's Daniel. You?" "I am Salira," she said softly. She motioned weakly toward the other girl. "This is my sister, Arinia." The younger stirred then, coughing, eyes fluttering open. She flinched at first when she saw Daniel but calmed quickly as Salira held her hand. "Easy," Daniel said, pouring warm nutrient broth into a cup and helping her drink. "You're safe now." They ate, rested, and slowly warmed. But as they recovered, Daniel noticed details, royal markings woven into their silks, jewelry of a style he had never seen, and a quiet dignity, even in exhaustion. They weren't just travelers caught in a storm. "Where did you come from?" Daniel asked at last. Salira hesitated. Her gaze dropped, and for a moment, he thought she might refuse to answer. But then she spoke. "We are daughters of the House of Veilora, exiled from our world, betrayed by kin. Our escape vessel failed in orbit. We crashed in these frozen lands." Daniel blinked. Royalty. Exiles. Stranded on Illyria 9, without shelter. It sounded like something from an old spacer ballad. "And you?" Arinia asked suddenly, her voice soft but filled with curiosity. "Why would a man of your strength live in such a place of death?" Daniel chuckled. "Because I'm stubborn, I guess. I build things, fix things, survive things. Illyria tries to kill me every day, but I'm still here." The sisters exchanged a look. Something unspoken passed between them, something Daniel didn't yet understand. Days of survival. Over the next weeks, the storm worsened, sealing the outpost off from supply lines. Daniel, Salira, and Arinia lived together in the cramped quarters, rationing food, repairing heaters, and braving the blizzards to gather snow for water. Daniel expected tension, but instead there was harmony. Salira carried herself with wisdom, helping organize their tasks, offering counsel when repairs grew complex. Arinia brought warmth and laughter, teasing Daniel's seriousness and brightening the bleak days with her curiosity. At night, when the wind howled like beasts outside, they would sit around the heater. Daniel told stories of Earth, of blue skies, oceans, and cities lit with neon. In turn, the sisters spoke of their homeworld, with its crystal spires and skies of emerald light. Yet beneath their grace lingered sadness. Once, Daniel found Salira alone, staring at the frozen window. "You miss it," he said gently. She nodded. "Exile cuts deeper than the cold. We were betrayed, hunted by those who should have protected us." Her voice trembled, but then she straightened, steel beneath her sorrow. "But we will endure. We always endure." Arinia, meanwhile, grew closer to Daniel in different ways. She followed him during repairs, peppering him with questions, laughing when he cursed at frozen machinery. One evening, as they shared a ration bar, she looked at him with unguarded eyes. "You saved us, Daniel. Where others would have turned away, you gave warmth." She hesitated, then whispered, "I think my heart belongs to you." Daniel froze, unsure how to answer. And when Salira entered moments later, he saw the truth mirrored in her gaze as well, unspoken but undeniable. Both sisters had come to love him. The threat arrives. Peace never lasts long on Illyria. One morning, the sensors screamed. A ship descended through the storm, sleek, black, bearing the crest of the House of Aelora. Salira went pale. "They've found us." "Who?" Daniel demanded. "Our pursuers. Those who exiled us. They will not leave witnesses." Daniel cursed, grabbing his thermal rifle. "Stay inside. I'll hold them off." But Salira grasped his arm. "No. This fight is ours too." The ship landed. From it emerged armored figures, their weapons humming with alien energy. Daniel ducked behind a snowbank, firing bursts from his rifle. The air filled with steam and light as beams scorched the snow. Arinia, surprisingly fierce, hurled one of Daniel's makeshift thermal charges, blasting a squad back. Salira chanted in her tongue, summoning a shield of shimmering force that deflected shots. Together, the three fought with desperate strength. Daniel's aim was steady, Salira's shield unbreakable, Arinia's courage unshaken. In the end, the attackers fell back to their ship, retreating into the storm. Breathing hard, Daniel lowered his rifle. The sisters stood beside him, their faces illuminated by the fire of battle. "You fought like Deathworlders," he said with a grin. Salira touched his cheek, her eyes shining. "We fought because you taught us not to surrender." Hearts entwined. In the quiet after battle, they returned to the outpost. The air was heavy, not with fear now, but with choice. Salira approached him first, her hand brushing against his. "Daniel, you are more than rescuer. You are strength we can lean upon. I would stand by your side, always." Arinia stepped forward too, eyes filled with hope and fire. "And I would give you joy, laughter, and love if you'll have me."